I love it when watch manufacturers send me a production version of a watch to review. Not a prototype, not a pre-production, but the actual product itself. This is, if you get on Direnzo's website and you want to buy this watch, this is exactly what you're going to get. So in getting a production version, I can tell you exactly how the crowns are, how the feel is, what the finish is like, everything on this watch. So today we're going to review this watch. Sergio from Direnzo, he reached out to me and he said, Pete, do you want to have a look at this watch? I said, mate, send it down. So let's check this thing out. So let's get stuck into it, guys. What we have is the Solaris DRZ05. It comes in at around 720 Swiss francs. The specifications of the watch, we've got a case diameter of 39mm exactly. I measured the height at 12.9 millimeters. The lug to lug distance is exactly 47 and a lug width of 20mm. Now both the crowns are screw down crowns, about 6.8 millimeters each, and the weight comes in at 148 grams, sized to my 18 centimeter wrist. And that's where some of the beauty has been on this watch. As you can see, the footprint is fantastic. Coming in at 39, 47 lug to lug, a 12.9 millimeter height, it really sits well on the wrist. The experience has been good. The bracelet on this watch is a beads of rice bracelet and it tapers from 20mm down to 17.5. It's got wonderful small links, so the articulation is good. The comfort has been fantastic. If we look at the back, we've got a clasp, flip lock, 6 micro adjustments, a very comfortable experience throughout the week. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again, micro brands are getting better. The quality of finish, the quality of product, the overall feel, the finesse, they're getting so much better. Now when it comes to decent watches, really good quality watches, there's a couple of little telltale signs to look for. And one, obviously the finishing, the case finishing, the detail. You look at the dial in close up, you see if the markers are clean, there's no dust, there's no flaws. The transition between brushing and high polish, little things like that give away whether you got a good watch, but more so the crowns. When I have a watch and I unscrew the crown, I know straight away whether the watch is good, bad or indifferent. And we all do. You know that when you unscrew a crown and you can feel that there's a healthy pop, the fine tolerances on that crown, the way it screws on and off is fantastic. You know that there's quality behind this watch. Now with this particular watch, as you can see, it's a no date watch. They come with 2 different versions. I know their website says sold out on the majority of their watches, but they are doing a second batch production because this has been a fantastic popular watch. So being a no date, there's one click and as you can see, we can hack the movement. There's no ghost date, which is great. We can adjust the time, being a Swiss Solaris SW200, and this is an Elabore grade. In other words, it's nicely decorated and finished as well as being regulated in 3 different positions. And I've had this on the time grapher and the watch is running fantastic. I cannot fault the watch in its technical aspect regarding the movement. Well done. There's an old saying and it says, you get what you pay for. And that's what we've got here. You're getting what you pay for. It's fantastic quality. Now, if we have a close look at that top crown, as soon as I unscrew it, it instantly engages that bezel. There you go. And there's a fine clicking system. It's actually finesse. It's really nicely finished. It's dampened beautifully. It's not soft. It's not too firm. It's just perfect. It's really nice. And wherever you put this marker, as you can see, you lock it in, it's not going to move. So you've got 200 meters of water resistance, a very understated dial. I like it. They've basically got their logo branding. That's it. It doesn't even say Swiss made. They've got that all at the back. So I think they've done a really clean design here. You know you've got a great movement. You've got great finishing. You've got a beautiful experience on the watch. Superb tolerances on both of those crowns. It just works and it works really well. Now if you look at that dial, you can see that this is where all the magic happens. You've got applied indices, you've got beautiful broad arrow hands, you've got a lollipop second hand, everything's loomed. There's a beautiful colorway, or tonality I should say, coming off that dial. This is called the black, but as you can see it's like a charcoal gray, dark gray in the middle, the center, as well as that bezel. And it's surrounded where the actual markers sit. It's like how can I say, more of a brown, chocolatey brown, but so subtle, it tends to bleed more into the neutral grey tones. A very nice effect, very impressed. Now the lume of the watch is BGW9. The markers, the hands, the lollipop seconds hand, even that bezel, it's all loomed. And legibility wise, as you can see, it's not an issue. Easy to read, plenty of lume on those hands and markers. The only observation, the lume on the bezel seems to be the first thing to fade. But as far as legibility, very, very clean. Now the sapphire crystal on this watch is a flat sapphire with anti-reflective coating on the underside. It's doing a fantastic job. There's like a green hue, very, very subtle, but enough to add a bit of character into this watch. There's been no legibility issues indoors or outdoors, which has been great. If we turn the watch over and look at that case back, what we have is a diver. I think he's wrestling with some sort of an octopus, but the finishing, the detail on it is very, very good. It's a clean watch, guys. It's a very clean design. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. In fact, I've enjoyed this on the wrist all week. Having the drilled lugs, as you can see, I've had strap changes, and one of the biggest surprises on this watch is how well it incorporates with different straps. I've basically had a field day with this watch, experimenting all week with different types of straps. I've experimented with leather, I've gone across the FKM rubber, back onto the bracelet, just different things, and it's been a pleasure. It's a strap monster. Being a black or a neutral tone dial, it's a strap monster. There's nothing you can't do with this watch, so it's very, very versatile. And speaking of that bracelet, there's another hero of the watch. The bracelet itself is wonderfully designed, small links, screw pins, as you can see, the milled clasp, fold over, and a flip lock with 6 micro adjustments. And the actual pressed clasp itself, as you can see, it's very thick grade. It's probably a little bit too thick, but it's solid, it's not going to go anywhere, it's designed to last the distance. It's a solid piece, but it's a refined piece. So there's been a lot of really good feeling coming off this watch all week on the wrist. Now, like I said from the start of the video, this is a production version. This is exactly what you get if you were to purchase this watch. And are there any potential negatives? Is there anything that I found wrong with this watch? And look, to be honest, some people might complain about the price, you know, coming in at about 720 Swiss francs. And if I was to compare this watch to other watches on the market that are around the same price, most of those watches, you're getting a Miyota. You're getting a Swiss Sellita SW200 Elabore Grade regulated. So that's a huge plus at that price point. Number 2, most probably that clasp. You know, that for me, the only advice I can give a company like Direnzo, the watch is great, I can't fault it, but that clasp, in future models, my recommendation, provide an on-the-fly adjustment. That would hit this watch straight out of the ballpark, because I'm really struggling to find any other faults. Everything else is subjective, because on a technical basis, the watch is great, it's finished well, everything works really, really well, the tolerances are excellent. So the pluses for this watch far outweigh the negatives. You've got great finishing, excellent design, the Elabore Grade Sellita, the bezel action is fantastic and firm, those crowns are wonderful, the bracelet is superb as well as far as its comfort. The fact that you've got drilled lugs to be able to do strap changes easily, another big plus. The simplicity and balance of that dial, you've just got your logo and branding, there's no other markings anywhere, it's really, really well thought out. It's got 200 meters, it's Swiss made, it's just ticking every right box. So if you're looking for a really good quality watch that's very versatile and finished meticulously, this is it. This is it. This Direnzo DRZ05. I think micro brands have come a long way over the years, and the proof is in the pudding. We're getting watches like this that are finished, meticulous, Swiss made, excellent quality, great movements, reliable, solid. There's not much that can go wrong. There's not much that you can fault. So let me know your thoughts, guys. This is the no date version. Like I said, on their website, check them out. A lot of their watches say sold out, but they are preparing for a second run, a second production run. As far as value for money, I did say you get what you pay for. You're paying for the quality, finish, movement, design language, overall a great piece. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, and we'll see you all in the next video.